As a leader, are you frustrated with all the negativity in your company? If so, this video may help you get started on finding strategies to turn that around. Hello, everybody. My name is Tim B. Green, and this is Crush It Club, episode 80. Bad is stronger than good. Please subscribe, follow, share, like all that fun stuff. And if you have any questions that I don't answer in this video and you want to reach out to me, either get this checklist and then I will be able to contact you. It's a very good checklist for goal setting. But also you can reach out to me by the platform, or most especially on LinkedIn. Either send me a message or send me a connection request, and that's the best way to connect with me. Okay, so Roy F. Baumeister, the famous social psychologist who has done a lot of work on self-esteem, self-control, and the power of bad, one of his main papers, research papers, was this title: Bad is Stronger Than Good. So it turns out what they found in the research is that, in fact, one bad is approximately equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good. That is, we pay far more attention to and are much more influenced by bad experiences than good experiences. And there's a good reason for this. If you're familiar with who Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman are, the inventors essentially of behavioral economics, I think, in their book Thinking Fast and Slow, found that people hate to lose money about twice as much as they like to gain money. So in an unemotional situation where there isn't those emotions tangled up in it, like numbers and money outside of your head, less emotional stuff, people find bad about twice as powerful as good. But in emotional situations of any kind, in close relationships of any kind, be it business or personal, you get this ratio that comes a lot closer to or beyond 5 to 1. That's why we have this ratio. So it ranges from 2 times as powerful to 5 times as powerful when you're going from unemotional to very emotional. So the more emotional it is, the more bad, or the more powerful bad is. So why is bad so much more powerful than good? Well, in a book called, where is it? The Power of Bad by John Turney and Roy F. Baumeister, the fellow I already mentioned, they have a really interesting quote in there, and this says it so well: because death only has to win once, but life has to win every day. So really what this comes down to is our evolutionary past. The world is so much safer than it's ever been in history, despite the news, which leverages the power of bad because it gets your attention and you remember it more. The truth is, we're safer for the most part than we ever have been in history for the vast majority of humans right now. Even with all the stuff that's going on, we are actually safer. We just know about it more. So because bad was likely to kill us in evolutionary history, you needed to learn, or our ancestors needed to learn from it far quicker than good. Because if you didn't learn, you simply died. Because you died, you had no babies and you had no descendants, which are us. So we are by default a species which is born with, among other things like curiosity, a negativity bias. That is, we are naturally more pessimistic, more negative, pay more attention, and strongly averse to negative feelings and negative experiences because in the past they killed us. Now, so it's not your fault because we are literally all like that, but it's default, not destiny. You can learn to counteract this, to use your system 2 thinking, in the words of Daniel Kahneman, your system 2 slow thinking, and practice to be more optimistic, more positive, and these kind of things that are actually far more advantageous these days than being really negative and pessimistic, which tends to work against career success, organizational success, all that kind of stuff. I actually have a product upcoming. It's not out yet, but it's called Culture Climb, and it helps leaders grow the positivity while minimizing the power of bad in their organization and work culture. I'll let you know more about that when it's up and running, but that's going to be a while yet. But to be clear regarding that product, it's not wimpy and soft and hugging in people's, hugging and crying and all that. It's based on hard science, and it's just using the knowledge to teach people to be more positive, to teach leaders in particular how to lead positively, because anything at the top comes downhill. If you've worked at any large organization, you get a sense of what's at the top by talking to anybody right down to the lowest person. You get a real sense of the culture. It usually starts right from the top. So you as a leader are the primary person to set the tone for your organization. So as a leader, because of the power of bad, strive to avoid using negative motivators or negative incentives as much as possible. You only lose them. You only use them as a last resort when positive doesn't work. And this doesn't mean giving 8th place trophies. This means doing everything with a positive frame, doing everything in the approach positive direction as far as possible, because that negativity has such a corrosive effect on your work culture and employees in general. So it turns out that the ideal ratio, according to Baumeister, is about 4 or 5 to 1. That is, for every 4 good events, for every 4 positive things that happen in a relationship, in a company culture, it takes that many positive events to absorb or neutralize 1 negative event. Keep that in mind. Now, 4 is sort of like a good minimum. 3 or 4 is a good minimum, but more is better. This also goes, and this is an important issue, for hiring and firing. 1 negative, hostile, antisocial member on your team has as much negative impact as 4 or 5 positive, optimistic, happy team players. So if they can't revise their ways, if they can't rehabilitate themselves, give them that opportunity. That's a positive thing to do. But if they can't or won't do it, regardless of their rank, regardless of their position, unless you have no choice but to keep them, fire them and replace them with somebody else, because they are harming your organization on so many levels. Now, this information also comes from the book Scaling Up Excellence by Robert I. Sutton and Huggy Rao that I recently did a book review on. It's by far the best business book of any type I've ever listened to, and I've listened to it now 3 times. So it remains my favorite book. So let's see here. That's really it. We're already done. So I just want to mention one last thing is I have a gift upcoming based on this video, based on these principles. And this is a free gift, not the paid program, the Culture Climb that I referred to. And it's called How to Build and Maintain a Positive Workplace Culture. So when that's out, or if you have questions and you want me to put you on the list for contacting you when that's ready, that's wonderful. Until that happens, this has been Crush It Club, episode 80. Power. Bad is stronger than good. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.